Hi guys, today I have a fantastic roast beef recipe for you. If you're interested, stay tuned. Welcome back to Kitchen Kolony, and I'd just like to thank my loyal subscribers and those who are watching. Thank you for sticking with me and coming back week after week. Now, if you have not yet subscribed, I would like you to subscribe and remember to give a thumbs up and also share my videos because this helps my channel. Roast beef tends to be dry after cooking. Therefore, I'll be showing you my method to retaining moisture within the meat. This makes the meat juicy, tender, and tasty. Now here in my pan I have a lovely piece of beef joint which I'm going to use for roasting. It had the mesh on, but I took it off, and I'm going to tell you why I took it off. Now in my pan over here is a piece of cow skin soaking in some vinegar water, and I did do that because I want it to be more pliable, and I'm going to use it to wrap my beef joint. Why? Because beef joint tend to be very dry when it's baked, and I want to retain moisture, so I'm going to use a cow skin. Now I want a spicy roast beef, so I'm using a teaspoon of mild jerk seasoning and a teaspoon and a half of the spicy one. Then 2 teaspoons of green seasoning, 2 teaspoons of crushed garlic and ginger, a teaspoon of all-purpose, a teaspoon of complete, and a teaspoon of Szechuan. A tablespoon of mixed spice with the dry herbs roasted, and a teaspoon of black pepper, a tablespoon of sugar. I'll be using a little mixed herbs, and for color I'll be using some soy sauce. To combine all the seasonings to make a paste as usual. About 3 teaspoons of soy sauce. We blend everything together. Now I've removed my cow skin from the pan, and I'm going to dry it because I want to rub the seasoning right in the middle. Now it's time to season our cow skin, and I'm seasoning inside because remember the beef is going to be wrapped with it. So I'm seasoning inside, put a generous amount of seasoning, and then I'm going to put lay my beef on it. For my beef, I'm going to put some holes in the beef so that it will absorb the seasoning when you put it to marinate. Just some slits all over it so it will be able to absorb. I'm putting a little seasoning on top, just rubbing it, and I'm putting the fat side down here. Now it will wrap, not all of it, but most of it, and this is how I want it. Rub a little on the side before I tie it, and then I'm going to season again, but just for now I'm just rubbing a little on the underside. And then I'm going to wash my hands and tie. Now it's time to tie. This can be tricky, and sometimes I don't get it right either. It's a bit tricky, but you can cut and tie, but I wanted to do it this way. Then I'm going to wrap it again. Now you can usually get beef with skin, but I was trying my best to get it. I couldn't get any. But if you have a butcher who would do this for you, you wouldn't have to go through this process. I'm going to do one more. I'm just wrapping my hand and carrying it under. This is the last one. Here we have it, secured. Now it's time to season the top. Season the top generously and marinate. I'm marinating mine for 2 days, but you can cook after a day. Now it's time to put it away to marinate. And I'm going to add the other seasoning that is left. Now the rest of seasoning, I'm going to put it in the bag and allow it to penetrate the meat. And I'll be putting this away for about 2 days. The rest I'll just dab it on the skin. Now I forgot to mention that I'll be using my slow cooker to cook this. So I'll be putting it in the slow cooker. That also will help to protect the skin. Now you can put this in the freezer or the fridge, but I'll be using the fridge. Now it's time for baking, and I've just taken this out. I've taken it out for about half an hour from the refrigerator, and I'm going to prepare it now for searing. Oh, here we have it. Now I'm going to take it over to the stove and slide it into the pot and start the searing. Remove most of the seasoning because I don't want it to burn. So I'm searing on all sides to lock in the flavor. Now while the meat is searing, we're going to prepare the other seasonings in the slow cooker. So we're going to roughly chop the onions. Just roughly chop it or slice it. It's easier this way. Okay. Now do the same for the sweet pepper. Just chunks. Because we're going to put this at the bottom so it releases flavor into the meat. Let's go and check our meat. Let's turn it on the other side here. Getting brown. Turn to the other side now. Okay. I'm going to use some black pepper grains. I like the whole black pepper grains because they have so much flavor. And I'm going to slightly crack them to release the flavor along with the pimento berries. You have it, and you can smell the nice aroma of the black pepper and the pimento berries. Now we're going to go on to the garlic. Now you don't have to take the skin off the garlic. It's not necessary because we're going to throw it in the bottom, and we just want to release the flavor. Now that we have seared the meat on all sides, I'm going to deglaze the pot with the seasoning that we had used earlier. So this is the seasoning that we had in the plastic bag, using it to deglaze the pan. I'm going to line my slow cooker with this liner. It keeps it clean, easy clean up, and it protects the meat also. Now at this point I'm going to add my seasonings at the bottom along with the carrot. My carrots in chunks, and I'm just creating a bed for the meat. I don't want the meat to be on the liner, so I'm creating a bed with the carrots. You may use other vegetables if you like, but I'm just using carrots today. Some people use potatoes, turnip, and then others. Now we add the other vegetables. And remember, we cut them in chunks, you know, and this to release flavor in the meat. Now we've created a bed, and we're going to put our meat in. So we're going to pour over the glaze that we just made from the seasoning. And this is all the liquid I'm going to add, because I'm going to turn my slow cooker to high. Now for the other seasonings, we're just going to throw them right around the meat. The garlic, rosemary, thyme, bay leaves, and last but not least, the pimento and black pepper grains. And we're just going to sprinkle it over the meat. Sprinkle it. We're going to cover to lock in everything. And then we're going to turn our stove to high. Now this is 4.5 hours later. And we're going to test. Yeah. Soft. Yes, it's cooked. Now I'm going to do one more extra step. Now I'm removing it. It is pretty much done, and I want this step because I want the skin to have some flavor. Now in the slow cooker, what is left is going to be the gravy. So I'm going to make a gravy with that. Now I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce. You can use ketchup if you like. I didn't want ketchup because it has a tangy taste. I didn't want the tangy taste. To this I'm going to add a tablespoon of jerk sauce. That's it. A tablespoon of honey. You can add more if you like. This is about it. Then some liquid seasoning or any other seasoning you like. About a tablespoon. Now I'm just going to spoon it over the top of the skin. You don't have to do this step. And then I'm going to put it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now before I do so, I'm going to remove some of the carrots and put it around it. Now I'll be sprinkling a little steak seasoning on the top so that the skin, when it is sliced, there's flavor. Now for the oven. 15 to 20 minutes at 150 degrees Celsius. Now it's time to take out our bag, and we're going to strain the liquid out to make the gravy. Now we're going to reduce this until it becomes half the amount. Now it's done. We're going to let it rest for 15 minutes. I've moved the string and I've placed some toothpick just to keep the skin on. Remember, the skin was not on the beef. I had to put it on, so I used some toothpick to keep it on. And guys, it is so moist and yummy. Let's get another piece. Skin kept it very moist, exactly what I wanted. As I said, the beef was so moist, and after reducing the gravy to that thick consistency, it was so flavorful because all the seasonings along with the juice from the beef was in that gravy. Guys, it was wonderful. If you try this method, I promise you'll never have a dry roast beef again. Now guys, if you've enjoyed what you've just watched, please remember to share, like the videos, and also if you've not yet subscribed, please remember to subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to your comments. Bye bye.